Hey, we're getting into Amie by the Pure Prairie League. Digging into this song, we're going to cover the acoustic rhythm part, inversions of chords, and chord shapes that you might not have covered before. Let's get into Amie, this classic song. Go ahead and grab your guitar and let's get started. Okay, let's dig into the acoustic rhythm part on Amie. Let's start by reviewing the chords. At the very top, there is this version of an A chord, and this is the only sort of non-standard chord in this part. So I'm starting by holding that version of an A with a flatted first finger, kind of a bar, but then the pinky holds down the 5th fret of both the B and the high E strings. So this makes a big open sounding A chord with no third. It's just root, 5th, root, 5th, root. So that makes, you know, a chord that could be either major or minor, but in this context, it's giving you the effect of just kind of like a drone, almost like the way a bagpipes would make a droney sound. So that's what you do. You're only playing the top 3 strings, the G, B, and high E strings of the guitar. But I'm holding down the entire chord in case I hit any of those on accident. So this is like a boom strum from bluegrass or country music. You play the A note that's on the G string, and then you play those 2. Okay, so that's basically it. You're just kind of doing a boom strum. Lead guitar enters. Okay, that's it for that chord. That's all you really need that for. And then we get into the rhythmic hits at the top, and that happens with a deadened string there, and then 1 hit on the A chord. And then a chukka, a down up on deadened strings. And then on the D chord, like so, G and D. Okay? So just a real percussive, kind of syncopated bit. Let me play that in context with the metronome, and let's take this at a slow tempo, maybe 60 beats per minute. And this will just be that syncopated chord intro. A 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and... And then you're right into the context of the song. So that bit of rhythmic displacement on the intro really brings you in. It really gets your attention because it's so dramatic. We're not playing on the 1. And this is what I call, this is a term I borrow from reggae music called the 1 drop. 1 and 2 and in reggae music often the whole entire band will cut out, boom, and come in on the upbeat after the 1 for this big dramatic effect. So that's what's happening here in this song. And you really want to hit those with emphasis and really tight, no brushy strums. Just a big bang strum like you're dropping a hammer with your hand. Now we immediately get into a verse, the vocals enter, the full band is there, and our part is like this: A, G, D, with this kind of strum. It's a real busy just down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Any kind of version of that, they change up the specific pattern a lot throughout the song. You're just kind of feeling it out with this kind of steady feel. And you'll hear the song kind of swinging with that bouncy kind of feel. The rhythm guitar is a little more streamlined. It doesn't play very swingy. It plays kind of straight under that kind of swingy, shuffly rhythm of the band. So it's something like this. You're still accenting those backbeats, but getting a lot of brushy strums in there throughout. So that's the first part of the verse, that very progression. 2 beats on an A chord, 1 beat on a G, 1 beat on a D. Okay. And then after a few times of that, you hold the A chord. And then you go to a D chord. And then here's a cool twist. It goes to a C. So for this moment of the song, you have modulated keys to a certain extent. We don't sound like we're in A anymore, right? And that, again, that's a songwriting technique that's meant to really kind of deviate and make it a little more interesting. And it's all just simple open chords. So we were pretty clearly in the key of A before, and if we're analyzing the chords, that would be your 1 chord. G would be a flat 7 major. That's a standard kind of deviation from the diatonic key of A. And then a 4 chord. And and then an A. So we call this a 1 flat 7 4 progression. Very common in classic rock music. Okay, so here we are on that D chord and the C chord. So we've kind of modulated to the key of D for a moment here. And then what happens? A big old E major. What does that do? That brings us right back to the key of A. It's the 5 chord. And now we're on the chorus, which has 1 measure of A, Amie, 2 beats of a G chord, what you want to do, 2 beats of a D, same thing again, A, G, D, now B minor. Okay, this is the only bar chord in the song, and that's just a standard B minor chord there, 2nd fret, bar. And then the E. And then we're back on the intro. And then right back into another verse. So then we're right into the 2nd verse, which is just like the 1st verse, and then the 2nd chorus, again, exactly like the 1st chorus. And then one more time through that sort of chord intro hook. And then the guitar solo happens under a standard verse chord progression. So again, it's like intro at the very top, this one, and then verse, chorus, and then the hits, then another verse, chorus, and then the hits, and then another verse, but the guitar solo is playing over it. And then right into another chorus. So the form is exactly the same there the first time, 3 times through verse, chorus. After the guitar solo, you do the hits again, only 1 time, and then there's the last verse. So that's the only time the form changes in the meat of the song there. Out of the guitar solo is just 1 time on those hits, so half the length of the usual sort of backbeat hook section. And then it's the last verse, which is a standard verse form, and then the last chorus goes twice as long. So double chorus at the end, and then we get into the cool sort of finger-picking, hybrid-picking outro, which doesn't have any rhythm strum happening under it. So that is it for the acoustic rhythm part. And of note here, you're going to hear on the track 2 guitars playing throughout the song. The intro just has one guitar playing this part, but by the time we get to these, there's 2 guitars playing pretty much exactly the same thing. And that is just for the production of the song. And we don't need to go over the 2nd guitar part because, again, if you take the exact same approach with the 2nd guitar as you do on the 1st guitar, they're just naturally going to have a few moments where the 2 parts are different. So there'd be some cool interlocking that happens between the 2 acoustic rhythm parts naturally. But all you really need is this part here. Just so you know, when you're hearing the mix here on the left and right channels, you hear 2 rhythm guitars playing, and that's why. So again, back to the song structure, you're hearing a lot of standard chord progressions, but you're hearing a little clever twist on it when that D chord goes to the C chord. So oftentimes songwriters who are guitarists, will just play around with open chords, and you'll find cool combinations of stuff you might not have thought of. So that's just a bit of the connective tissue here from a songwriting perspective. If you're looking for something a little bit different in your song in one section or another, feel free to try any of those open chords. Even if it doesn't quite make sense to you theory-wise, it might sound really cool. And in rock and roll music and in country music and in folk music, you'll hear a lot of this stuff, which is just very guitaristic, using the open chords in different combinations. Okay, well, let's go ahead and strum along with the full band.
That's all for this session. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell for more lessons in the future. Make sure you check out the other lessons on our channel, and don't forget to head over to TrueFire.com for the full experience. We have synchronized tabs, jam tracks, and a massive library of courses covering all topics a guitarist could ever want to learn. Until next time.